In this video, let's talk about online shopping. And you know what? I just got some new running shoes. What do you think?
Are they new shoes or are they used shoes but new to you?
Wait, what?
Absolutely. In other words,
Absolutely. To which question?
it means that I get running shoes, but I often buy them used. In other words, they might have a couple 100 miles on them, but I get them at a greater discount buying them used. That's what you were asking, Emily, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
not a
let me
car.
ask, what?
You're putting your feet where someone else's feet have
It's not like
been? And
we're
you're
talking
paying
about
more than a couple bucks
underwear.
for it?
I'm not talking about like an underwear or something like that, but yeah, I never buy new shoes. And so let's talk about the topic of online shopping, pros and cons, and I'll talk a little bit more about the topic of buying used shoes.
Well, apparently, if you shop online, you can get secondhand used foot smell.
So any thought on this, the idea of pros and cons of online shopping?
Well, it's definitely something that I utilize regularly because I do have severe anxiety and panic attacks. So I have a hard time leaving my house. So I get most of my groceries delivered. So, that's online shopping.
And how does that work for, I'm sure a lot of people might be already aware of this type of service where you live, but could you describe that just briefly?
I think we can speak to this subject from both sides because I order a lot and Emily has delivered for the same company before.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing I don't buy through there is produce because you have no idea how good this person is at picking produce. Like I haven't had watermelon at all this season because I haven't had the energy to go to the store and I don't trust someone to not get me something terrible.
Yeah, well, I think in some cases, for example, like watermelon, I think you have to be really skilled to be able to determine if this watermelon is mature versus some other type of produce. But anyway, I think people think differently and are selective in different ways to select produce because some people don't have an eye for that type of skill.
Yeah, I can pick watermelon like nobody else, but I have no idea how to pick a tomato or a peach or a mango.
Okay, so shopping for groceries in some cases. Emily, anything else you'd purchase online?
I purchased almost everything online except for my groceries.
Too. Except for the groceries part, I buy those online too.
Okay, so can you throw out one or two things that you might purchase online?
I bought hair ties online yesterday.
Hair ties?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like to kind of hold the hair back?
Yeah, to pull my hair back.
Okay. What are some cons? You mentioned about produce, maybe not getting exactly what you need, whether it's ripe and so forth.
Here's a con. It's so easy. And you've got a problem when you go to your door and there are packages and you have no idea what you ordered.
I think that's a problem too in several different ways. Number one, you don't know what you ordered, but you realize, boy, I must have spent a lot on these.
Or a little on a lot, It's like, what even is this?
Could be. Let's talk about, Emily, you mentioned about one thing that you've purchased recently. You mentioned about hair ties. Aubrey, can you share something besides what we mentioned so far that you purchased in the last week or so? Not in the last hour or so.
Not in the last hour. Well, outside of groceries, I purchase all sorts of random stuff. Like I have delivery services for like soap and coffee and socks that I subscribe to. Okay. So those just come on a schedule.
Socks.
It's also socks.
New socks.
Brand new socks. I don't need used foot smell.
All right, socks, hair ties. And again, as I mentioned, probably one of the things that I purchase are used shoes. I know Aubrey didn't seem to be very impressed with that idea, but I can buy a pair of really good shoes that are normally somewhat expensive for trail running at a very decent price. I purchased a few just recently, and well, I don't stick my nose into the things to see what they smell like. I don't disinfect them. Maybe I should with some type of spray, but I don't know. I'm still alive.
Yeah, I buy a lot of used things, but not shoes. Like video games are a great one to buy used.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this particular topic, pros and cons with online shopping.